Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network with a check of your Midwest sheep and goat market for the week ending December 17th. The Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report is proudly sponsored by Moline Seed and Fence. Moline Seed and Fence is your local dealer for Riviera custom gates, goat and sheep pens, along with Mountain View sheep and goat equipment. Check out all of their products at MolineSeedandFence.com. That's MolineSeedandFence.com. Go check them out, and thank you for sponsoring the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Now looking across the trade, we'll call the slaughter lamb market 10 to 20 lower, firm on cull ewes and rams. There wasn't enough reported trade on breeding stock for an applicable trend this week. On the goat side, steady with softer undertones in the market. Didn't see the $400 100-weight trade as much, or really essentially at all this week. The heavier weights, though, held firm from their recent gains. Now, with 2 weeks of softer trade, the market appears to be filled for the Christmas season. Will essentially hibernate into the calendar turns into 2023. And that's really kind of the feeling we got this week. Lighter volumes, and then we're going to be hit and miss on sales when it comes up. Some of them announcing some holiday schedules. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll keep an eye on it. If volume's there, we'll go ahead and do the report as we usually do. If we don't see a necessary volume to justify the report, going to try and fill in with some different features, whether we're talking the lambs, the goats, just to try and bring some more interesting information back out to our listenership. So as always, we appreciate, though, your continued listenership here on the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Quick look back at 2022. We're finally treated to a dose of reality. Really, late 21 out through early 22, we had this super high market, and really it seemed like the sky was the limit. Things would just keep going steadily higher. Breeding stock, of course, there was a lot of optimism early on, and then we got a dose of reality late spring. Things turned off dry. We started to see some drought pressure start to come in. We saw the supply chains get reestablished, exports come back into the picture, and really start to give retailers a little bit more option and choice. So that put some pressure back over on the market as well. So then going forward, we saw that lamb market really take a big pullback, and it started to climb its way back out of the hole. Seasonal demand helping to pick things up, especially for those lighter weight lambs. The big heavies, though, they've really struggled on much of the year and looked like they're going to continue struggle going forward. The ethnic market really seems to have stepped up big for the goats. The local demand really wants the local goat. They either want to butcher it themselves, or they're just finding going into their local chains. So again, that seems to have supported the goats. We're getting back into that $400 100-weight range, but we haven't hit it quite as aggressively as we did a year ago. In general, just the economy, a lot of things are just kind of backing away from those highs, not quite as much price aggression as we saw a year ago, and it looks like that's going to be some of the concern going forward. Of course, the drought is also a major concern. The flip side to that drought coin is, though, once this drought breaks, there's going to be big demand out for the breeding side of the market because everybody will be wanting to rebuild herds. So overall, there seems to be still some bullish trends and notes to it. The livestock market as a whole feels like it has a little bit of a bullish tendency heading into 2023. Hopefully, we can continue to hold on to that. Let's look at some highlighted quotes from this week's sales. We'll go to Colby Livestock. They were pretty limited on their sheep, so didn't find any solid sheep quotes. But on the goat side, they sold two 125-pound boar wethers, pretty solid. $225 a hundredweight, $281 a head. They also sold some little lightweight kids at 30-pound range, 35 to 40-pound range, out for $385 a hundredweight. Kelowna, Iowa sold 23 head of wool feeder lambs weighing 56 pounds for $320 a hundredweight. That's $179 a head. Kelowna also sold two prime slaughter lambs weighing 82 pounds for $245 a hundredweight, or $201 a head. Kelowna also sold 3 head of 45-pound hair feeder lambs for $315 a hundredweight, $141.75 a head. Producers Livestock San Angelo sold 37 head of 107-pound goat wethers for $259 a hundredweight, an average of $277 a head. Producers sold 16 head of 70-pound hair lambs for $290 a hundredweight, or $203 a head. The upper end of the draft, let's back up. The upper end of the draft on those wethers, they brought actually $277.50 a hundredweight. That's $297 a head on those 100-pound wethers. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock sold 63 head of 71-pound wool lambs for $240 a hundredweight, or $167 a head. U.S. retail meat data for the week shows that the week ending December 16th, lamb and veal retail activity index 64.2% up. The feature rate 10.6% higher, and the special rate 4.4% higher. Lamb cuts were 105% higher in the prior week, and veal cuts 76% lower, showing that Christmas time demand for lamb really picking up. For the week, roast ad space was sharply higher, and chop ad space was sharply lower. Lamb features offered more ad space for rack and leg items, typical given the seasonal tendencies and trends. The grain markets, they were lower on the week. South America received beneficial moisture in Brazil and looks to be on track for a decent crop. Meanwhile, Argentina is struggling with drought, and analysts continue to reduce the size of their wheat crop as their wheat harvest is currently underway. With that as well, it really seemed like wheat was kind of a rallier in the complex this week, trying to move higher. Worldwide, excluding China, wheat stockpiles are at 15-year lows. As well, the grain market seems to be hesitant to establish too much direction before the new year. As we look over to the lamb slaughter this week, 35,000 head slaughtered through Saturday, unchanged from the prior week, down 4,000 from last year. Year-to-date lamb slaughter, 1.681 million head, 9.5 or about 176,000 head behind the prior year. Live lamb weights this week, 126 pounds, unchanged from the prior week, an increase of 1 pound from last year. Dressed lamb weights were 64 pounds on the rail, unchanged from the last 3 weeks, an increase of 1 pound from last year. Let's recap your regional price breakdown. 40 to 70 pound wool lambs, 122 to 320 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up on the wool lambs, 124 to 245 a hundredweight. Hair lambs, 20 to 40 pounds, 210 to 331 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pound hair lambs, 185 to 350 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 150 to 290 a hundredweight. On the wool ewes, slaughter, 47.50 to 113 a hundredweight. Hair rams, 45 to 125 a hundredweight. Hair ewes, replacement quality, $150 to $225 a head. Slaughter hair ewes, 75 to 140. Hair rams, $70 to $200 a hundredweight. Kid goats, 20 to 40 pounds, 200 to 385 a hundredweight. 440 to 70 pounds, 225 to 365 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 220 to 325 a hundredweight. On the goat wethers, 70 pounds and up, 186 to 277.50 a hundredweight. Slaughter does, medium and fleshy, $120 to $265 a head. Replacement quality does, thin test of them, but we saw $170 to $310 a head. Hamilton Commission Company there in Texas having the majority of those early in the week. On the bucks, slaughter bucks, $180 to $300 a hundredweight. And that is a check of your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Have a great rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. Of course, always check it out on Spotify if you haven't yet, as well at ruralradionetwork.com. Share with your friends in the industry. And if you have any suggestions, always glad to hear those out as well. We'll try to make the report fit as best we can to hit all needs. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.